Understand? And you'll be surprised how. Because what happens is they go into situations that are weighed against them, just to see the hearts of the people. You see what I'm saying? Just to see the compliance of the people. If the people are willing to be true and they're willing to fully love to do what they do. If they do not, then what follows? Hmm? He shows that he's just not going to come instantly. It just is because the times have gone so fast, people are not recognizing who God is. They're not seeing that he's there and he's everywhere. They're not seeing all those things. What they are, in fact, doing is saying, well, maybe he might come, but oh, we are looking at physical signs. So God said that he was going to come long time ago. All these things are showing, and all those things were showing before, but he said he's going to come long time ago. I was very young when he said he was going to come. For now, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years later, people are still saying the same message. He is here. But it is called trials and tribulation. That's the time that we're in. You understand what that means? Trials and tribulation. For you to understand the concept of time. Trials and tribulation takes what? Discernment into understanding the people. So usually, I'm going to tell you, usually when he comes, he's going to come to the people he favors. Like I said, he's going to use the people to go on missions. You understand? When they go on these missions, is a collective. So one by one, it's like jury. One by one will be questioned. And one by one, each will go to trials. See what I'm saying? So those are the people God's intense powers within them. They have put in the work. They have, what's it called, positioned themselves, and they have gotten rankings within the heavens of God. So God is utilizing them to judge the world. See what I'm saying? So when he does that, he comes to them and he says, okay, I can talk to you, you can talk to me. You have faith in me, so fine. This is what is happening. I'm going to place you here. Now, he's not always going to show you what exactly is going to take place, but you will go through those situations. And he knows when you do, you will encounter worshiping God like you usually do, just like Job did. You see what I'm saying? Trials and tribulations, just like Job did. And once he does that, right, you come back with an answer. Oh, the people this time were fair to me. They really took it upon themselves to see my circumstance. That's why God says, do you know me? Because do you know me means I have come to you. But because I have not come in my full presence, you don't know me. But are you going to recognize me by the circumstances of time? See what I'm saying? I'm thirsty. Are you going to give me water? Now, I'm thirsty. Are you going to give me water? Doesn't really means physical water. My situation may seem like I am in a steep situation. Are you going to give me guidance? Are you going to give me assistance? Are you going to help me in my circumstance? Because that is given water, right? Are you going to help solve my issue for me? Are you going to help me when nobody else will? Because guess what? If you have helped me, right, you have lent to God. So God's saying, okay, fine. I have all these things that I have to check off. So I'm going to go to this city, this corner, this country, this place, and I'm going to keep going to see the volume of people and what the people's selfishness level is, the people's honesty level is, the people's loyalty levels is. And I will use those people who least expect, because the people who least expects it, right? Those are the people you may not like. You might not like them. Oh, who's this guy? This guy's a player. He's always coming around. He's always doing this. Oh, I don't like him. Exactly. Are you? He's not gonna send somebody you like because that's too easy, right? Are you really showing your true characteristics? You're not. I'm telling you, when God's talking about spiritual peace, He's not talking about physical peace. You cannot manipulate God. A lot of people do think that they have gotten away or think that they have. Remember, God lives inside of you. Just because you don't activate Him doesn't mean He's not there, He is there. But are you there? Or are you in the world? Where is your gauge? Where is your concept of understanding? Do you focus on trying to destroy people in alliance, thinking God's sleeping? Perhaps the people you're trying to destroy is who God is using to judge you. Have you thought of that? Or did you think that your spiritual leaders are really telling you the truth? Isn't that what they did in Egypt with the rods? Moses, they found out that Moses was really with God. Moses and Aaron. They had 2 poles of rod, and they had 1 rod. But their rod overtake both of them, swallowing both snakes. Remember, like I said, it is not the same. You could have $10 billion. It means nothing to God. Would you have 10 million lives, 10 billion lives? Eternal life is much better than even having, physical life. Eternal is forever, and not forever just in the physical. See what I'm saying? In the spiritual. We are created much more than this. Much more than this. Much better than this. It's almost like this. We are at a temporary time to learn and study things and how things work. See what I'm saying? Once we have learned what we are supposed to learn, then we will be able to do things that are much greater because we have proven our loyalty. People think, oh, the devil. Devil's already judged. You understand? Notice that it's always permission. Oh, devil has to ask permission for this. Oh, he's doing this. But in your mind, God can only listen to you. You see what I'm saying? In your mind. Demons analyze what physical things you do, but they cannot read your mind. See what I'm saying? If they could, they will kill you. See what I'm saying? If they could, then they can destroy you and you'll have no chance. But they cannot read your mind. Maybe if you have an aggressive, sinful nature and you pay allegiance to them, then when they come inside of you, then they can. But if you follow the laws of God, if you connect to God, then they cannot, because too much of the Holy Spirit has imploded inside of you to a high level degree, to the point that they cannot even come near you. So they would not understand. But know that they can set traps for you. right? And they can analyze what you're thinking and, in fact, plan for you. These are the times. Know that if we're in the days of Noah, know that the type of evil and spirits that are roaming and dwelling, that are trying to, create spiritual bondage with people so that they can, in fact, steal their souls, right? Within them, harnessing it because they feed off of the soul. But the soul never dies because it awaits what? Judgment. That means you're going to be questioned regardless of who you are, regardless of the times. You see, problems cannot physically be solved permanently unless it's solved spiritually permanently. Just remember that. People have many solutions that they go to. Sometimes they're not mature enough, so they go into different various solutions. But think about it. Look at all these things that are happening, not just physically, but I'm talking about spiritually, right? Everything is a significant impact. You see, I talk so much because I want you to understand that there is what? Only one way to God. But people say, oh, there's other ways. There is. But there's one way to know God. See what I'm saying? Difference. One way to know God. So one way to know God properly, or there's a next way that you don't know God, but it is the same God. You can choose that way, but when you get there, you notice that you shouldn't have went the other way. Because the other way forgives you without you having to sacrifice family members or sacrifice other kinds of things. Those other sacrifices of sacrificing, family members is only a temporary. It gives you maybe 5 years, 10 years. Those Hollywood stars that are, passing away and stuff like that. I believe that they're due for sacrificial times. 5 years, 10 years, all of that. And I also believe that they know exactly what's going on. Because Quavo says, I got to do this because it's bigger than me. And he said that in one of his lyrics right before he passed away. Him and Quavo was on that one mic and they're standing right in front of each other and the mic is in front and he was talking something like that. Because they're fooled into thinking that that's the way of life. They will be remembered and they'll have a tribute every year until the time, time of judgment. And they'll say, yeah, he was a great pioneer. He's a musician. He carried himself this way and the people loved him. But what about God? Did God love him? Did he take time to get to love God? Was he as big as he was to God? Because guess what? See, Kanye is talking the truth because he's confessing. If you confess, God will forgive you for everything that you have done. He knows. He's confessing. That's why I'm saying he's actually talking the truth. People are calling him crazy. People are hating what he did, which he did sacrifice. He did all those things. That's why he's able to get those kinds of deals. But now he has realized it doesn't go anywhere if everything gets taken from you. right? And your greatest assets is your life, the life you, what's it called? You created, right? In God's way, and the lives you actually produce. Because there's no higher assets, regardless of what is being given to you. All of those are temporary, but your soul to soul connection is forever. So he is saying, you know what I mean? Things that is shocking because people have been speculating that for years. They've been talking about that for years. See what I'm saying? But it's true. That's exactly what's truly going on, and that has been happening. Or even Orlando Brown, when he was talking about the people that we think are gone are not truly gone. They are, made into somebody else, or they're right there on Hollywood Boulevard in certain ways and certain stuff. But there's a lot of deep secret magics that people are doing, and those things are true. But anybody that actually touches on that subject and talks about that, anybody, they try to cancel them. They try to say that. But can you cancel God? Do you see what I'm saying? You can't do those things. And your knowledge and wisdom is meant for you to talk, for you to express, for you to teach. I'm hoping that one day somebody's going to listen to this video and learn something from this. Not the fact that I talk for a very long time, but some of the things I've said resonates with you and what you need to do as a person. Because it don't matter. Whatever you think you're doing, right? Do it in God's way. There's a good way to do something and there's a bad way to do something. Just like there's a good way to take care of yourself and there's a bad way to take care of yourself. No doubt. It doesn't matter about arguments or political this or political that. It's just the fact. It don't matter in which way you express it or which format you are saying it in. It's actually facts that you're saying. Is it not true that these things are happening? It is. Do you wait until it happens to pretend that you didn't know, to talk about it? So then it is true that all those things that are happening out there is because they have to sacrifice certain levels so that they can get a quick rewards. But is it true success? Have they gained what they're supposed to actually gain? Because when their time is up, it seems like they were never relevant. Tell me, did they gain what they're supposed to gain? Are they relevant to the degree that people see them as? Because if you're not relevant to God, that means you're a waste of creation, and that He gave you His soul and you didn't utilize it to the best of your ability. You see what I'm saying? It don't matter how much skills you have done and how much abilities you have, but when you channeled, that means the words that are coming out of your mouth, is it the truth, or are you trying to side by it or some way? You can choose to listen to it. You can choose not to listen to it. Don't do those things. But just remember, you're going to face it, because guess what? You're going to be asked those things. You're going to have to understand it. Even if you don't want to hear from me, you will hear from them. I'm telling you, the time of evolution for every single person is now. The time for process of change, the ability to become better, to be better, is now. Noah warned the people. No, Noah talked to the people so much, right? And they were laughing at Noah, They say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're building an ark. Why are you doing all those things? Well, you do this. So how could you know God? Oh, well, you do this. But you see, those 8 people or those 7 people along with Noah that listened were the what? The ones that were used to repopulate the earth. Those animals, right? Think about it. The animals know what time. That means animals are more obedient than people. You notice they know when it's going to rain, when this is going to happen, when it's going to happen, because they know about spiritual implications. Though they can't talk our kind of talk, you know, they understand through spiritual connections. Hmm? So that's why you should understand that we know more. And what you know is what you should express. What you know is what you should talk. What you know is what you should try to share, because that is not selfishness. Because the people can learn from it, and from them, others that you don't even know can learn from it as well. As long as at the end of the day, you have spoken, right? What do you need to say? Hmm? People can try to say, oh, you talk too much. Why are you talking like this? You don't talk loud enough. You don't do this. You don't do this. You don't do that. Why? Hmm? So you can't hear the truth? Why? So you can say that it was never told to you? You spend so much energy, negative energy, trying to stop progression of life, progression of truth, that if you use that same energy and you change it to positivity, you can become better. And you can do much, even much more than even the person that is the originator. Just like how Jesus said, right? He said what? There'll be people that will do more than I have done. However, nobody is the original foundation like me. You can do much better because due to your position, due to what you're analyzing, what you're understanding, you don't need the antidote. You already prevention. Mhm. Plus knowledge. You can do much better. Mhm. Prototypes over time can become better, right? Just like everything else, designs are the same. The foundation still trends through the time, but the elevation of like flash and spaz and all of those things are due to the cultures of time. So you see the same thing, but it's just designed in a more intellectual way because the times have changed. They have realized different materials. They have analyzed. But if they didn't have the old foundation, then they would not have a new foundation. No such thing as new discoveries. You can't discover something new. It's already there. Hmm? It's already been discovered. New technologies is already there. The foundation is always there. But it is how we view it, is what we say history is and what history should be. But God's history never changes. See what I'm saying? The Bible is written from how long ago? It's a Bible with words. How come everything we're living by, if we're not in that? We are. That means our souls are one with the Bible. So that's why we have no choice that the life we're living. That is why Jesus can say all these things. Because he knows exactly what he is saying. Hmm? Think about it. Don't spend so much time playing tricks and games and laughing and mocking others. You don't have time yourself. Hmm? Time is time, right? Do you know when you're gonna go? I don't think so. Don't matter who you are, how much money you have, how much physical influence you have. If you don't know God, you could have been buried with what's it called, 24 karat gold casket. Where you gonna go? Hmm? Are you going to get there and the spirits of time are going to say to you, um, when you get to the cemetery, are they going to say, oh, you came in a casket of gold, find her or him a better position, hmm? A better place? You're not. Trust me, you're not. So I am telling you, have faith, man. Sometimes I myself lose track of faith. It's hard sometimes. I'm telling you, it's hard when everybody seems to be, working against you. Everybody wants to attack you from certain angles. They wants to affect how you are, not realizing that they should be helping because you are helping God. Mhm. Don't waste your time to have hatred towards others because you don't like their spiritual presence. It will destroy you. Hmm? If you don't like their spiritual presence, and if it's from God, then you do not like God. Jesus said, if you hate, understand if the world hates you, they hated me first. Hmm? You notice all these things tie back to everything Jesus did. Everything. Because he's seeing things from spiritual aspect of the people. So the advancement of the people are not to be analyzed because they are what? Advancing very quickly spiritually. I mean physically, but not spiritually. And if you're advancing in the physical, that doesn't mean you're truly advancing spiritually, because if they're doing these sacrifices, that means the demons that are summoned are the ones who's doing all of these things for them, creating wealth for them, giving them what's it called, ideas and knowledge. But they require sacrifices of blood so that they can what? They can grow. But they only have what? A time period because it's temporary. So they could only give you temporary promises. Hmm? So as long as you live, you're gonna have good things. You're gonna have good, greater influence. It's just that you can't. Your power is allergic to the holy God. So that means you cannot talk about Jesus Christ. You cannot focus on doing what is truly good to help the lost souls find Jesus Christ. You cannot do that. So if you can't do those things, then everything you do is not good. And God, in fact, uses you. Yes, they do so much charities, oh, giving, giving, giving. But all of that goes to waste if you actually cannot talk about God. If you cannot express yourself about God, if you cannot worship God, because the spirits around you, right, do not like that. Hmm? That's what a lot of people think. They give physical gifts. Oh, yeah, just give. And they're considered great people. But what is the spiritual meaning behind that? So, you know what I mean? If you are given a certain perspective of two individuals, right? And these individuals, one don't have a lot of money, the other has a lot of money, right? And the one that don't have a lot of money knows God, has been paying his dues, worshiping, being through trials and tribulation, doing all these things. And the other one got his fame off of, you know, sacrificing, and they have certain obligations. The one that has a lot of money has a lot of benefits, meaning that physical benefits are given so much to charity and so forth. And the one that don't is able to give once in a while. Believe it or not, the one that gives once in a while value is much higher to God than the one that gives countless times. It doesn't weigh out the difference if, let's say, you given $10 billion a year, but yet you don't worship God, and you're given $10 billion to help starving children, helping them, saving their lives, but that still is not enough for God to excuse you in what you are doing. You have to understand that. Your life is very valuable. That is why you're supposed to live forever. That means you can't die. Hmm? You cannot die. So if you cannot die, that means it's condemnation or what's it called? Salvation. One of them. Just remember, use your abilities to the best of your capacity so that God can say, yes, my faithful servant, you have used what I have given you and you have multiplied it. You have helped so many people and you have done what I have asked you to do. This, in fact, is going to help you, right, with gaining grace from me because you have what? You have a place in my heart. Hmm? So, like a love letter, God is saying to you because God deeply cares for you because you are Him, in people. You are Him. Hmm? Inside of you is God. But the presence is small only until you start to increase your presence. Do you choose to? Or do you choose to tuck it away? Do you choose to be shy? You choose to say, times are hard. Starvation is this. Times are hard, but God will prevail. He knows even if you die of starvation, He's still there. You're still going to have an afterlife. Hmm? What happened to Peter? What happened to John? What happened to the disciples? All of these disciples, right? How did they end up? However, you can best believe that they have salvation because, except for obviously Judas, because what he did. Hmm? See, Judas would have got forgiven because it was in the timeline that must take place, but he couldn't see it in himself to be forgiven. See what I'm saying? So he took his own life through suicide. I encourage you, if you're having suicidal thoughts, those are the devil trying to speak to you. They're trying. You can't actually think, but they're trying to get you to give up your godly side. Hmm? Remember, physical things are temporary. They're just masked to seem like it's forever. Sometimes I feel like it's forever to be able to get through certain circumstances. But then I always go back to my original foundation of praying and worshiping so God can give me more intensify, right? Intensify me so that I can overcome those kinds of situations, right? Because guess what? Thoughts come and go. Your circumstances may not even change after the encouragement of God. However, the increase of God within you will change. And when it changes, your way of looking at that same particular situation is much different. You're human. Everybody go through situations, but do not go to the depth of trying to eliminate yourself. God spent time with you, creating a timeline for you, creating gifts and giving you all these things to utilize yourself. He spent time doing those times, countless time after time. He did that. Don't waste your time by destroying yourself. Don't waste your chance of eternity by doing these things. Okay? Have a great day, guys. Stay motivated, stay focused, like, comment, and share this video. And of course, optimize your life in the spiritual. Just remember what I said. I try to speak the truth so that others can hear it one day and learn from it, simply because you need the truth. Maybe one day the Bible might not be apparent and you might not be able to have that wisdom. And this video may be a video that you helps you to weigh in on what the importance of developing a relationship with God, and how God have used so many countless people and that they were going through so much hard times. However, people that weren't expected, like David, right? Like Daniel, like Samuel, like Samson, all those people and more, right? He didn't expect them to overcome all odds, but they did. As long as you allow God to use you, you know? And in order for that to happen, you have to spend time with God, praying, reading, worshiping, focusing, so you can be motivated and increase your passion, so that your faith is what? Unlimited. Thank you and have a great day. Bye now.